Chapter 16. The Yultier Spaceport consistently ranked among the universe's top 10. Its ornate structure attested to the wealth of Kalindra. The halls were lit in a fashion that shadows never fell, and the darkness was unable to penetrate. Merchants, diplomats, and businessmen from all over flooded through these halls, sidestepping past the Reld stalker surging his way forward, driving two tethered prisoners in front of him. It wasn't too strange for a Relg to be on Kalindra. After all, they had signed an association pact with the Federation, thus allowing Relg to operate there. What was strange, though, was that he was alone. Relg stalkers always operated in trios, and Relg guards in duos. No one ever really saw a Relg by themselves. So when this Relg, accompanied by an observer, marched his prisoners through a private boarding gate to a small but very expensive interstellar speeder, he garnered a few looks here and there. Nobody stopped him, however, for there was no reason to question him. When the dignitary who owned the ship returned to the spaceport a few hours later and found it missing, no one could quite figure out what had happened to it. The cameras appeared to have malfunctioned, and the security guards seemed to have dazed off during the time the ship disappeared. The trackers on the ship were disabled, and the dignitary finally just gave up, bought a new ship, and charged his Kalindrian counterpart for the replacement. It had been time for an upgrade anyway. "All right," said the observer. "I don't think anyone is following us. We should be able to head for any planet or system we'd like." "How did you learn to disable trackers like that?" asked Prey. "Before I joined the archives, I used to do custom repairs and maintenance on luxury ships, such as this one," replied Mavis. "So, where are we headed, Trillin?" The Relg turned towards Prey, then looked at the others. The shiny new covering on his armor reflected the twinkling of the ship's inner lights. Mavis had even managed to get his internal Kwajalein translator fixed, so he didn't need to wear that old, outdated equipment. "I am retrieving my staff. Without it, I cannot operate." "Can't we just get a replacement?" started the observer. "I mean, there are plenty of people who use staves as their main utility tool, or in your case, a weapon. Archivers, for instance, also use staves. I know a couple of places that can craft some mighty fine—" "No," interrupted the Relg. "It must be my staff. It is coded to me. It is a part of me." "Well, how are you going to find it?" asked Prey. "It calls to me. We are getting closer." The ship bounced around a little bit, and there was a slight noise as one of the engines shut down. "We're out of beam travel," exclaimed the observer, running to one of the windows. I don't recognize these constellations." Prey walked over to the window and peered out for a few seconds, then sharply turned back to Trillin. "Jace. We're in Jace. You're taking us back to Faradun. We just ran from there." "Jace," said the observer, nodding. "I never did make it out here. I didn't realize they were resuming commercial traffic so soon. They must have figured out the tunneler sooner than expected." "We're not going to Faradun, Prey," said the Relg. "Well then, where are we going?" asked Prey, distraught. "Here," said the Relg, pointing at a planet on the star chart guidance systems. "Magora. That's impossible. You're an idiot, Relg, going to get us all killed. Why do you think we ran from here? The Federation has besieged Sirac. There's no way in or out. Back me up here, Mavis." Mavis looked at Prey questioningly. "I guess you haven't heard, Prey. But the siege fell, not but a few days ago." "What?" "Yeah, they're still sorting out what happened, but the Siracs have regained control of Jace," the observer said. This was exciting. An observer hadn't been in or out of Sirac since the shields went up. There was bound to be a lot of pent-up information waiting. "We are being hailed," Trillin interrupted. "By who?" asked the observer. "By those," said the Relg, looking out the forward bridge windows. A row of enormous warships crawled their way into view, quickly taking up all their vision. "They won't let a Relg stalker into their territory. noted the observer. How about 2 Syrak refugees, an observer, and a newly purchased Larry Walk? The rogue asked, gesturing towards a bag on the floor with a tuft of long, light blue hair sticking out. Mavis smiled. It's worth a shot, I suppose. 10 minutes later, their ship was past the security checkpoint and sailing through a debris zone filled with bits and pieces of metal. Lonely hulks and skeletons of Federation and Syrak ships floated on silently, riddled with holes and scorch marks. Glowing red eyes gazed out from behind the mask towards the wreckage. Now that, began the observer, must have been a nexus. They controlled the shields. And over there must have been the war headquarters before its life support systems ruptured. Prey was focused on something else. That yellow planet over there. That should be Faradun. They passed through a few metal, pillar-like structures. And those, continued Mavis, generated the shields. Man, I need to get the account of this battle. I might get promoted to archiver. Here we go, interjected Prey. 10 minutes until Syrak Main.